Monday.com, the opposite of any work platform we tried in the past. We tried other work management platforms, not naming names. They all suck. Monday, total opposite. It didn't just work, it spread. And people became Monday evangelists. And you know why? Because people actually liked using it. Now, it's not a chore. It's intuitive. You don't have to force anyone. They're on board. You can really see that Monday care about their user. The user.
Good evening, one and all, and welcome to the live stream. Let's go ahead and start getting chatty. So, tonight I was planning on doing a Reddit small business stories just so that we could talk about some issues that are happening out there in the world. Of course, I feel like Reddit is a forum that is universal to anyone and everyone to be able to post, which can be good and bad. I did go ahead versus last Thursday when we did this and found one that I specifically wanted to read the question and comment about versus randomly trying to find one. Actually, I have two in case we ran out of comments in this first thread, which we have 17. Some of them will be read, some of them won't. Let's go ahead and get started. So, obviously, we're in subreddit web design. This was posted about 17 days ago. They are asking the question, what do you think about building and rebuilding websites from scratch? Just give your feedback and then I will solve. Which, that's interesting. This person's first comment says, building from scratch is easier than repairing an existing mess. Someone else seconds it by saying true. Third person says, right, but things actually, original poster says, right, but things get changed if you are a in needed person and is offering a pre-made blueprint or template. The comment to that person, who's the OP, said, yes, but you can use the old to source graphics and snippets, etc. Don't need to bin it all. In regards to this comment, because that's kind of where I'm at right now with my website, I have a builder. I could start from scratch on everything, or I have somewhat of a foundation. I have a skeleton. I still need assets and everything else. I feel like I am more on the approach of, well, we'll find out. I'll make an opinion informed by the end of this thread. The next comment says, rebuilding from scratch is challenging on a high traffic site because you have to be careful not to break anything. don't mess with all the existing SEO related aspects because they will cause a huge drop in traffic and your entire project will be a massive failure. I will say I have not necessarily seen with the SEO aspect with the search engine optimization, in case people don't know. And that's basically how people find your site is through tags and all this other stuff that's behind the scenes. I understand their point also too, depending on how old the website is and where it was coded from, if someone did HTML versus CSS. Some of the old stuff does not translate to the newer development kits that are out there. I can see that being a problem. And even I've seen companies out there where they're trying to switch from one old process to a new process. And I agree, things do break. It doesn't matter if it's a 300-year-old company that has technology or if it's one that's been around for only 20 years. Things are going to break when you try to fix them. Let's keep going. The next commenter said, it can be fun and really help with overall performance when utilizing new standards. That does not actually answer the question. Oh well. My current portfolio is based on WordPress. I'm developing the same site again with the same design on static PHP. It's fun for me. That person is going for it's fun to rebuild. And since I'm here, honestly, I have not heard of PHP for web design, so let's look into that. I'm learning still every day. I forgot I'm in Google and this is not connected to Yahoo, so it's going to pull up resources. Okay. Defining PHP. PHP. Oh my gosh, this transcription is going to look weird. To start, what is PHP? PHP is an open source scripting language widely used for web development. It runs on the server side, meaning its process codes before sending the output to the user's browser. Originally released in 1995, PHP has evolved into a powerful tool and is used in millions of major websites, including Wikipedia, Vimeo, Etsy, WordPress, Drupal, Drupal, one of those three is right, and others. Key features include ease of use. I love how I clicked away from AI, and I think that this article, I don't see an author on here. Eh, it could just be the framework of how they type because I'm seeing it everywhere. But it looks like it might have been. Anywho, we're going to keep moving. Ease of use. PHP syntax is beginner friendly and integrates seamlessly with HTML, something that I was mentioning earlier. Flexibility. PHP supports multiple programming paradigms, including procedural, functional, and object-oriented programming. I don't know what OOP is. We can go down that rabbit hole too. Extensibility. PHP offers numerous extensions and libraries for tasks like databases, interactions, and image processing. Community support. PHP's large developer community ensures continuous updates and abundant learning resources. Explore the following resources to learn more about PHP basics and ongoing changes in the ecosystem. As someone that's a lifelong learner, I can understand where that commenter said, I've been having a lot of fun with it because it's always something new to learn. Whether that be in tech or anything else, it's a different system, a different software, something else to do. And then there's this object-oriented programming. According to AI, it is a software developed paradigm that organizes code around data or objects rather than functions and logic. Okay. It models real world entities by bundling attributes and behaviors into classes, promoting reusability, scalability, and mod, modularity. Modul, modularity. Words are hard. Key pillars are encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, and abstraction. I could say polymorphism, but modularity, that's the word. Finally, it clicked. The Midwest was too far into my accent to be able to say that word correctly. So, the core concept is class, a blueprint or template for creating objects. They give an example of a car object is an instance of a class. Okay, this kind of sounds like in science when you have the different things where you go from family to this to this to the, and it breaks down in line to different things. That's how you end up with like Homo sapien. So I see where it parallels. And then they give an example of a banking system, a bank account class with the attribute account number, balance, and method deposit withdrawal. This also kind of goes into SQL a little bit if that's the case. And probably if my friend was here, she would say, well, SQL and OOP are the same thing or similar. I'm connecting dots. I'm making assumptions that may not be true. Again, learning something new every day. That's a ad. You all really can't see. I'll have to figure out a way outside of. Hold on. Let me see if I can actually zoom this in for you all. And we're back from that commercial break. That should be bigger so that everyone should be able to see it. However, you can't. Just let me know in the comment section, even if this is post YouTube or post the stream. I can always see what I can do to make that better of an experience for you all. Okay, so we're on this user right here. They say, depend on why you're rebuilding. or it depends on why you're rebuilding. If it's because the code base is genuinely unmaintainable spaghetti, sure. If it's because you're bored or think, this time I'll do it right, you're going to end up in the same place in 18 months. Most rebuilds are procrastinations dressed up as productivity. Oh, that is a hot take. Mm. I don't know because I'm looking at my own website and I don't feel like. Do I think it's unmaintainable spaghetti? No, I'm using a web builder, so it's not unmaintainable. Um, this time I'll do it right. Yeah, I do have that feeling about my current website. Like, I want to try again. And it's ironic because the way that agile methodology is taught, which is a form of trying to get things into production, there's basically two different ways you can do it. There's waterfall, where you trickle it down slowly. I've been in company and projects that do that. And then there's the agile methodology, where basically they say 2 week sprints or 1 week sprint, depending on the group. Let's get as much done as possible in each of those sprints, which is kind of how I've been doing this live stream. I have different pillars and goals I want to hit. For example, long term goal, get 150 followers on LinkedIn. Short term goal, trying to make the stream to the highest quality and the expectation that I have. For example, right now I know the chat screen is a little bit small. You saw me earlier. I was in motion actually improving this experience, hopefully for you all that are watching it to understand. So you saw me well, you didn't see me, but you heard me go over to commercial break. I came back and the screen was bigger. That's making small improvements over time. I think it just depends on where you are with that process overall. Again, we'll come back to it. We still have another few comments left to read, and I still have another 15 minutes left on this live stream, so it won't be the last comments that I make. Okay, this person says, I'm the founder of the event marketing agency My Web Glory. Good for you. Congratulations. We market premium events that attract our ideal clients, generate high quality leads, and make this brand the one everyone talks about. I will be honest with you, I have not heard about this company. I love how they're boosting themselves up though. Let's give it for the pride because it's hard to do. We handle the entire lead generation process, so you only spend time take talking to qualified prospects. I don't know how this has to deal with that question. I do want to go on their website and just see. This looks like it was built on Webflow. I the way it just came up, I'm curious. I had to refresh it a couple times for Wappalizer to actually review it. I would highly doubt if it was not a Webflow site. Dang. It says it's React JavaScript. Blue side. Tailwinds. I see that a lot. I will also say though, this is a landing page. Ah, where did it go? No. Come back. Oh, and I love how you all or no. The second time I clicked on it, it gave this guy's I'm gonna move this over here. It gave this person's like Calendly page for consultation. I mean, I guess that's a way to get people. Uh Free strategy call. I mean, this is a good idea to have this pop up. It does impede, in my opinion, the experience that someone has. And why did it take 2 times for it to actually show up? That is, oh, there's an alert going off. What's the alert? See, this website for me is distracting. They're also in a different time zone because why do you have open availability at 1 a.m. my time? They're in a completely different country. Anywho, they're limited to 4 calls a month. of a new search engine, but most events fail. What? Oh, they are doing literally event marketing. Dang, I really thought. Oh, it's Framer. Okay, I wasn't too far off. Framer and Webflow we explored yesterday. Okay, I'm done with that rabbit hole. Goodbye. This person comments, I don't do it from scratch. I use Ultimate WB as the backend. Let's look into that in a bit here. This gives an admin panel to clients to easily manage and update their site if they want. And it's also a lot easier to keep the code up to date. This person sounds, well, they're called Web Dev Dave. So that right there too. But that sounds like a developer, just based off of what they were saying. I love how it says Wix first. Most powerful website builder. Do more, faster, easier. Now it's saying it's optimized for SEO, but is it optimized for... I'll have to do a zoom in version of the screen and a zoom out version of the screen. I'll digress. That's a me problem for later. Building SEO. They're using PageSpeed Insights, which we learned that earlier. They passed W3C standards. Okay. Build any type of website. This is interessante. And this is not the first time that Ultimate WebB has popped up in conversation for me. This is like the third or fourth time. So I'll have to check that out more. Again, figuring stuff out as we go. The next comment says, it depends on your idea behind it. If it has to be done fast, I clone repo and start adding components from libraries like Runix UI, Skipper UI, and from 21st Dev and complete the task. Makes sense. So if they're trying to quickly update something, they're going to just use components from different libraries versus taking their time. This person says, I rebuild. It's a job, but also a hobby. I find it fun and also doesn't hurt to possibly learn something new on the way, which is kind of what I'm doing right now. I know how to build websites. I do have better ones that I've built on my own time than my current website, but right now, this is not a hobby because I don't think that you can turn a hobby into enterprise, but this is just simply competitive research done live with comments. Okay, and we're on the last comment. And they say, you guys can't see the last line, but I can. I actually enjoy developing from scratch. For me, starting fresh makes sense. When the foundation is messy or built around outdated assumptions, it's easier to design things cleanly. Performance, accessibility, content structure, instead of constantly working around legacy decisions. That said, I don't think starting from scratch is always the right call. If the site is structurally sound and just needs iterations, refactoring is usually smarter. I'm curious, for those who prefer rebuilding, what usually pushes you there? Okay. And I feel like that person had a great question, and I would like to give a response because it will fully go through with everything that we've been talking about up until this point. I will say, rebuild when you have a good structure. If it's just simply, like they said, the website's out of date, or there's a new policy that's been put in place by the government, similar to what happened on Monday when we were talking about the ADA information, which has always been there. However, the way it's being delivered and impacting small businesses, that all would lead me to rebuild someone's website. We can even think about the person that had the Indie Rocks website. she has good bones to it. I don't think that website was too far off. I think it just needs a little bit of tweaking here and there, and she started the process. If she was my client, I gotta turn this person off. The My Webflow Glory, or My Web Glory's gone. For her website, if she was to approach me as a client and say, hey, I want you to do a new website for me, I wouldn't do it. The only thing that I would tell her is I can do this as a rebuild for you. Make sure her search engine is optimized. Make sure that her pages look better, that the color contrast issue, the font issues, all that other stuff, I would work on fixing for her. I don't think that anything she's done up until this point doesn't work for her. Now, with my website, because I'm adding in all these other features, so obviously you all are tuning into this live stream from whichever platform it is that I have listed. It could be YouTube, you're seeing me on TikTok for the first time, LinkedIn, you're going to my Facebook profile, probably if you're there on Facebook, hello. And also very highly confused on why she's just talking when some people have not seen me on Facebook in quite some time. And then Instagram, I still don't know what I'm doing with that yet. With my website, I don't think the current structure fits my needs, and that's because currently I'm changing. I'm not just planning to be a web designer. I never fit into that box to begin with. Researcher, yes. Strategist, yes. Building a website and making it look pretty, yes. However, asterisk, I don't want to dampen anyone else's creativity. We all have it in us. So I want to make sure that we're perpetuating this better standard of, okay, you have your creativity, let's keep it going and add that feel to your website, but still make sure that everyone has equity and can use your site properly. That's always been my end goal, is building sites, building designs, whether it was with my soap. I cared about people that had eczema, so I made sure to have a line that was no fragrance and good for nourishing the skin. While I was making my paintings, I made sure that I had different varieties of colors and methods. For the jewelry, I tried to make sure it was hypoallergenic. All things start and come to how we care for each other in society, and while it's nice to make money from the situation, not taking advantage of the situation. So when it comes down to rebuilding or to starting from scratch, meeting my clients where they're at in their journey of creating their product, their business, their lifestyle. Heck, you could be doing a blog. You could be a content creator like I'm trying to do right now. We need to build what's good for you. And you already have something? Let's review it. Let's look over it. Let's see. If you don't have anything, then we're starting from scratch and we'll move from there. I actually think that had a pretty good ending. And this is what happens when I look in advance at the Reddit information versus trying to find stuff cold. And I see that we only have 4 minutes left on the stream tonight. So, what are we going to do next? I do have this backup Reddit story because I thought that other one was going to take less time. However, technically we have been streaming now in about 8 seconds for 30 minutes. So instead of holding everyone here, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I want to thank you for tuning in to the YouTube live stream or the TikTok stream if you were able to come. Otherwise, thank you for taking the time to rewatch the video. And of course, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and provide feedback about these Reddit stories. Tomorrow is going to be a great question. Let's see what tomorrow's stream is supposed to be about. I have it in my Canva. I just don't have it memorized yet. So tomorrow is Friday. TGIF, everyone. We made it to the end of the week. Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty simple. So Friday is going to be our recap. Basically, 30 minutes recap of the accomplishments. 30 minutes of recap. A 30-minute recap of the accomplishments for the week this past week. So basically summarizing everything that we've taken care of from Monday until Friday. Well, Monday till today, which is Thursday. So, yeah. I hope to see you all tomorrow and have a good night. Bye.